What a lot of people fall in the trap of, and the misconception is that when there's knee pain that we shouldn't do anything. No. When you are experiencing some sort of pain, what's good YouTube, and welcome back to the channel, the last natty. Checking in. So I've recently experienced some knee pain that I don't know exactly how I've done it, but I know I did it through weight training. But as I have experienced this on 2 previous occasions, I have identified strategies that help me to get over this niggly knee pain so I can get back into what I love doing, back into my weight training, my leg training, squats, all those great types of movements. And I'm hoping for those people who are watching my videos, a part of my journey, that maybe you can use and implement these strategies to help with any knee niggles or pain you may be experiencing. Let's get into it. Strategy 1, pre-activation exercises, especially before doing any kind of squatting pattern, anything when it comes to some knee flexion. Our glutes play a massive role in stabilizing our knees. And a lot of us, including myself, when we sit at our jobs or we sit for long periods of time, our glute muscles are always in a stretched position, and this causes these muscles to become lax, to become weak. So it's really important that we activate our glutes before doing any type of knee flexion exercises when doing a leg day. Well, one of our first pre-activation exercises that I like to do is a lateral band walk. So I make sure that I keep my leg straight. I don't want knee flexion because that's going to engage some of my quads. I really just want to engage my glutes. I'm going to keep my leg straight, and I kind of walk like I'm Tin Man. So I'm not bending my knee, just walking side to side. You want to make sure that the band is not too tight where you're not able to actually step out efficiently. There needs to be some resistance, but not too much. So I do this for 2 to 3 sets. I walk about 15-20 steps one way and then 15-20 steps the other way. So I make sure I'm hitting both sides of my hips. And it's really important to make sure that when you're walking while keeping tension on your body. If you find that you are almost wobbly or you're losing control, you're not actually activating those hip muscles that we want. Another great exercise, a pre-activation exercise I do for my glutes is the lock clam. Lying down on your side, making sure that your body is slightly turned over, almost you're placing your torso slightly to the ground, and you're actually making sure your hip doesn't move back and forth. The only movement we are performing is our knee coming up as high as we can without our hip moving back or adjusting our position, and just bringing that knee back down. This exercise I will perform about 2 to 3 sets, about 15 reps each leg. My other strategy that I'm also doing is I'm doing some core activation kind of work. The goal with this exercise is for me to move one arm off the ground and to embrace my trunk so I get no back movement. It's really helping me to engage my core stabilizing muscles, which are really important when we do a squat exercise, especially when we're doing a squat with weight on our shoulders, because it stabilizes our spine. And if we have a stable spine, a stable trunk, it makes it a lot easier for us to focus on some of the other things that we're going to talk about. This exercise is a little bit too tricky. Bring your legs a little bit wider, create a wider base of support. If that's still too hard, we can regress the exercise and perform a bird dog. Now I'm going to raise one arm off the ground and the opposite foot off the ground, getting really tight and preventing any back movement. Again, engaging those core stabilizing muscles. My next strategy is performing my squats in the Smith machine as opposed to performing a free weight squat such as a barbell squat. The Smith machine allows us to move in a fixed vertical path. That can be really helpful because I don't have to worry about activating as many stabilizing muscles, and it can make it a lot easier for me to make sure my knees are tracking over my toes, which can help prevent any knee pain. And I know for me, that makes a huge difference. I'm also using my resistance bands here to help me to perform my squat to reduce the knee pain. How that works is that by using the resistance band, it actually prompts me to push my knees out, and what that does is it activates my glutes. And if my glutes are activated, it can provide more stabilization, more stability for the knee joint, and again reducing pain. What it also allows me to do is by providing that resistance and that giving me that proprioceptive input to push my knees out, it allows my knees to track over my toes, over the midpoint of my foot, where if my knees are tracking efficiently and not caving inwards, that again can really help with preventing knee pain. And for me, this is a huge benefit and a huge help. It's really important when you're in the Smith machine, you've got your band, that the band is not too tight where you can't actually get into your efficient squat stance. So really make sure you get the right resistant band that's gonna work best for you. What I also make sure I do is I start as I'm squatting, I don't go all the way down as deep as I can off the bat. I really take my time and I find that just right level. So I squat down as far as I feel comfortable and I'll stick with that range for a few reps. And then as I'm getting more comfortable, as I feel my glutes starting to work, because I can consciously pushing my knees out to really engage my glutes, stabilize my knees, I see if I can go a little bit lower, and if I can without pain, great. I'll stick to that new level for a few reps, so I don't have a lot of weight, so I can get more repetitions in. It's also really important to focus on your control. I'm really taking my time and controlling the movement. That's why I also did my core activation exercises. If we have a stable spine, a stable trunk, it makes it a lot easier for us to focus on how my knees track over my midfoot to avoid any pain. So take your time, don't rush, embrace your trunk, push those knees out, and slowly go down as deep as you can to where there's no knee pain. My next strategy is the leg press. The leg press is a great exercise as it allows you to continue training and strengthening those leg muscles, but to do that without experiencing any knee pain, because the leg press provides a fixed range of motion. Again, you don't have to stabilize as much. That can help reduce any knee pain. It's really important though, as we're doing our leg press, really controlling the movement, going really slow with it, and opening up my hips to make sure my knees are tracking over my toes, the mid portion of my foot. That's gonna help everything track efficiently and help reduce any knee pain. I wanna make sure with my range of motion, I'm going as deep as I can. If I feel any pain, I stop before that, and then I go from there. That's my just right level. After doing a set on the leg press, see if you can go a little bit deeper. What a lot of people fall in the trap of, and the misconception is that when there's knee pain that we shouldn't do anything. No. When you are experiencing some sort of pain, movement is medicine. The trick is to find that just right challenge where you can complete the exercise safely without any pain, because movement is going to allow you to recover more quickly. So it's all about finding that just right level. You need a scaffold. You need to regress the exercise to a point where you can perform it safely without pain, and then we build from there, especially when we incorporate some of these pre-activation exercises like I've done to help with my knee pain, or maybe some other activation, mobility exercises, stability exercises you can incorporate as well. And my final strategy is myofascial release. When those muscles become tight, especially if we're constantly weight training or even just performing day-to-day exercises, and if you are overcompensating or using certain muscle groups repeatedly, this can create tight muscles. Those muscles can pull on the structures of certain joints, including our knee joint. And if those muscles are tight and pulling on the structures of, let's say, our knee joint, and our knees aren't then able to track efficiently when performing knee flexion exercises such as squats, that can definitely cause knee pain. So if we release our muscles that are no longer tight, that prevents any pulling on the knee joint and allows the knees to be able to track more efficiently and reduce any pain. So either I would recommend go get a myotherapist, who's someone who's trained, or doing it yourself, self-myofascial release. Getting a foam roller and really finding those trigger points. I hope these strategies can help. Again, the knee, our body's complex, especially our joints, and it's really important to identify what possible mobility or stability issues you may have, and to do that you may need to go see a personal trainer or go see a medical or allied health professional, or maybe you need something a little bit more specific, a little bit more individualized. So hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Did I even say that properly? Let's start again. Give this video a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button. I'll see you guys back here next time. The last natty checking out. See ya.